Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is Torn Down the Middle, chapter 41, and this one is titled, Some Heroes Wear Gowns. Under much duress, the nurse got him back into his bed and checked his wounds over before rebandaging them and reinserting his IV line. He grumpily slumped back in the hospital bed and reached for his phone that was beside him, but he just couldn't think about anything else except for what he may have done to you when he was in a fevered state. He recalled the pizza roll weakly trying to fight him off while he caged it beneath himself, and he didn't remember exactly what he said, but he does remember the hot-as kiss before blanking out. Man, did we actually make out? I remember there was a bit of tongue action. He shook his head, trying to correct his images, but the pizza roll remained burned into his memory. Later that evening, the nursing staff came in and put your knee and ankle in a full leg brace, adjusting the straps so that it fit snugly. You thanked them and they left you to sleep for the night. Getting comfortable was a bit of a pain, and you moved around a bit to try and find the most comfortable position, falling into a restless sleep as the sporadic noises of the hospital would occasionally wake you. At 11 p.m, the new night nurse came in to introduce herself and check on you. "Hi, Miss Lynn," she said in a bubbly tone. "I'm your nurse for tonight. If you need anything, just buzz for me, okay?" She checked a few things on your chart. You nodded groggily and fell asleep again. She was halfway through checking your medication list when she got an urgent call from another bed and left in a hurry, forgetting to document your pain medication. 3 a.m, you awoke in agony and let out a sharp cry, fumbling for the buzzer that you couldn't find in your drowsy state, and tried to sit up. Pain shot down your leg and you squealed, whimpering and biting down on the inside of your cheek to stop yourself from crying out too loudly. "Ah, my leg," you wailed internally. "It hurts. It hurts so bad." You tried to look for the buzzer again, and you saw it on the bench just out of reach, and you started sobbing as you desperately stretched your arm out towards it. "I can't reach it." Tears streamed down your cheeks, and you toyed with the idea of just calling out to see if a nurse was close enough to hear you. "Right next to the nurse's station. Someone should hear me right. Nurse, please help," you cried out, your voice quivering as you called for someone to come. "Please," you wailed, your head lowering in despair. "It hurts." You heard a crashing sound and profuse swearing, and your head shot up. "Damn IV line," the voice hollered down the empty hall. Katsuki, you wailed, desperate for someone, anyone, to come and take this pain away. You heard running footsteps, and he came flying through your door, his crimson eyes flashing in the dark, occasionally catching the light from buttons and sidelights as he looked for you. "What happened? Were you hurt?" he barked, making his way to your bedside. My leg is killing me," you squealed out as tears continued to cascade down your face. Okay, he replied frantically, pulling the covers back to look at your leg in the brace. "Don't know what to do," he panicked. "Get a nurse, Katsuki, please," you sobbed. "Nurse. Oh, nurse!" He spun around, not bothering to close his gown at the back, and thankfully, or not thankfully, your eyes were so filled with tears that you didn't see his ass as he raced out the door. "Where the hell are the nurses?" You heard him scream out into the hallway and the nurses' station. "We need help! In bed 3, get your asses in here now or I'll blast every single one of you!" You half laughed as you continued to cry. He was dead serious about your state of well-being, and although he was threatening people unnecessarily, it was endearing in its own way. "Sir, get back to your bed," an authoritative voice yelled. "I'm not moving until you people do your damn job and attend my girlfriend." "I'm not your girlfriend," you cried. "Okay, fine. Pizza roll," he hollered back. You snorted and wailed harder. Just then a nurse entered and saw your stricken state and attended to you right away, while another calmed your irate, pantsless hero and ushered him back to bed, hooking up the third IV line in less than 24 hours. "Your boyfriend is an interesting character," the nurse said once she'd given you your pain medication and readjusted the brace. "He's not my boyfriend, he's just a good friend of mine," you replied with a sheepish smile. She looked at you with a raised eyebrow. "Well, look, honey, I've been around for a while and I can tell he really cares about you, so you might want to have a talk to him about some things and make sure you're on the same page," she said as she left the room. You didn't respond, just sat there thinking about what she had said as he drifted off to sleep. The next morning you were woken at some ungodly hour to the morning nurse introducing herself. "Oh, Her happiness at this hour in the morning is almost disturbing, you thought as you watched her adjust a few things around the bed and check your chart. Has she been sneaking some of the hospital pills to keep her awake, functioning and happy? Soon she left and you drifted back off to sleep. Bakugou had been woken too, much to his displeasure, and his crimson eyes stalked the nurse as she flitted around the room adjusting things. She dared not speak for fear of being eaten alive, judging by the animalistic look in Bakugou's eye, and she quickly exited as soon as she could, retreating back to the nurse's station in a haste. "Oh, mate, kid in bed 7 something else, ain't he?" she said with a shudder to the other nurse on shift that morning. "I haven't met him yet," the other nurse replied as she set up the medication chart. "Saw another kid a moment ago. Came in asking if it was okay to see the girl in bed 3. Now he was a looker." And there ends chapter 41. Stay tuned for chapter 42 coming tomorrow.